Wabi-sabi. No, that's wasabi, a tasty and spicy condiment from the wasabi root, a relative of horseradish. It is often eaten with sushi, but that's a story for a different day. Wabi-sabi is a Japanese philosophical word which roughly translates into the melancholic reverence of the impermanent state of the world. According to the video presentation History of Ideas, Wabi-sabi, produced by the School of Life organization. The Western world spends its time and resources in a never-ending battle with nature, trying to force it into an ideal of the perfect. Take, for example, this perfect neighborhood with its highly manicured lawn and meticulously selected plants around homes built according to restrictive zoning laws using designs that lack imagination and innovation. Now, look at this hobbit house in New Zealand. It is built into the hill and in harmony with the environment. Its design is suggested by the lines of nature. Try and build that kind of home in the U.S. and you'll find no insurance company will insure it, no bank will loan you funds, and zoning laws will likely prevent its construction. As Charles Ledbetter discusses in his TED Talk, The Era of Open Innovation, funding will not come from the big companies, but it will come from the knowledgeable and passionate consumers who organize themselves in order to create and innovate. Similarly, our Western ideal of education is stuck firmly in a Bismarck-style 19th century educational system. Government mandates prevent any deviation from a centrally controlled, top-down approach to education. Certainly there is tremendous need for education around the world, but is imposing Western-style educational systems the best approach? As much of the world's poorest are largely ignored by their governments, private schools are organically forming all over the world. James Tooley wrote of his journey to discover how the poor are getting educated in his book, The Beautiful Tree, a personal journey into how the world's poorest are educating themselves, which is very innovative. We will see the principle of wabi-sabi in action as the poor will begin to teach themselves in ways we would never consider within the highly regulated and centrally controlled perfect educational system of the West. These privately run schools for the poor are not pretty. They are impermanent. They are unregulated. But these are innovative, effective, available, and ever-changing schools that aim to meet the needs of the local population. They are also expanding education to where it is needed. One example of innovation in education for the poor, which demonstrates the principle of wabi-sabi, is the Hole in the Wall project that started in India. As explained in the project's website, the Hole in the Wall project is breaking through traditional confines of a school and taking the learning station to the playground, employs a unique collaborative learning approach, and encourages children to explore, learn, and just enjoy getting an education. This somewhat disruptive, informal style of teaching can transform education. It is innovation at its best. To borrow from Charles Ledbetter's TED Talk, it is a radical innovation.